Hey guys, Terry here, and I'm back with another Unity tutorial for beginners. That's a mouthful. All right, so you'll want to make sure to watch this video all the way to the end. I'm going to show you two very unique things that you need for every game. One is the ability to freeze time as a player mechanic. So you're sprinting, you freeze time for a couple seconds or a split second, everything stops moving except for you and you sprint past, right? Another is the pause menu. So you can actually just pause your game with the menu. All right, so without further ado, let's get started. And what I have here is just the basic tutorial little game rig that I've been showing you in almost every video. Now, to freeze time, to pause time in your game is actually very simple, and we're going to put it right in our player control script. Now, we probably shouldn't do that. We should probably have this niched down into better scripts, but hey, this is for beginners. Now, I'm going to use the P button as the pause button, and let me just paste this in so you don't have to watch me type. It makes life a lot easier. Now, what we're doing here is on the update, and make sure this is on update and not fixed update or late update. That's important because you do want to check for pause every frame, not after you've moved or whatever. So what we're doing here is we're checking if the key down, if input.getKey, keycode.p. So basically, if the player is pressing the P button, we're going to do something. Now in Unity, we use a thing called time.timescale to control how fast the game's moving. So if time scale equals 1, that means the game is playing and everything's fine, everything's working like it's supposed to. So we're going to go ahead and pause it, and we're just going to say time.timescale equals 0. Now that just pauses the game for you. There you go, boom. All right. Otherwise, if we're already paused, the P button is going to unpause the game. Now, if you were going to use this for a player mechanic, you'd have to do two things. The first thing is only pause on a timer, and timers are relatively easy. I'm sure you could figure that out. You just say probably a code routine, Anyways, you also have to incorporate parts at the end of this video to actually set your player game object as active while you're paused. Okay, now with just this right here, we can actually pause the game, and you'll see I commented out two functions because we haven't created them yet, and that's going to show the menu or hide the menu or allow your game object to move or, All right, so we'll save that. And we'll head over here. And if you watch, as we're falling through the air, I can pause the game by pushing P. You see we stopped falling. All movement stopped. And if you look here, oops, where did that bugger go? Okay, I actually clicked it several times. Paused, unpaused, paused, unpaused. That was my fault. Okay, and then we can just unpause it. Oh, that's touchy. This is a beginner game. You'll have to figure things out, There we go. And we can move. Okay. And I can jump. Oh, well, the controls are wonky. I'm sure you'll figure it out, right? But pausing and unpausing is there. Yeah, see? Yeah. Pause, unpause. Pause. Unpause. You'll have to work the controls out yourself, but I'm just showing you the means at which you can accomplish your goal. So if you look at that right there, that is how you can pause. Okay? Now we're going to add a couple more things, a couple more functions here called show paused, and hide pause. All right, and of course, I'm just going to paste these in. Make both of our lives a lot more simple. There we go. Copy. And we're just going to put them right here. Now, we're going to look at this code, and I'm going to show you what it does. Oh yeah, we also need to make a we have to make an array of game objects. All right, an array of game objects. There we go. And then we also have to initialize a few things in start. We have to set the time scale to 1. We have to also, here, I'll just paste it in and show it to you. All right. So we have to set the time scale to 1. You don't really have to, but it helps. Then pause objects, the array we made up here, game object array pause objects. We're saying that that is every game object in the scene with the tag show on pause. That's pretty important. Okay, so basically the pause objects array will find every game object in the entire scene with the tag show on pause and add it to the array. And then we're going to hide all of those objects right here with the hide pause. So we'll say for each game object in paused objects, and G right here is just any title. You could call that Cindy. You could say for each game object Cindy in paused objects, or for each game object pepperoni pizza in paused objects. It doesn't matter. That's just how you identify it inside of the for each loop. So for each game object G in paused objects, now what this does really is the array we made up here, the game object array, that we then assigned all the game objects with the tag show on pause. All right, this function here is going to go through all of those objects and set active to false. Okay, meaning you can't see them. They're not there. They're not active. All right, and then if we show paused, it sets active to true. And that's pretty important. That's how we're going to hide show our menu. And that's also the same principle you would use to allow your player to move while you're paused. There's the bonus. You would pause on a scale, but allow your player to still be active. And basically, and you could still move, whereas the rest of the game would freeze. I'm not good with surprises. All right, so we're going to copy this tag so that we can use it. We're going to save. And now we're going to go back into Unity over here, and we're just going to make a text element. Okay, but we're going to click on our player. If you look up here, you don't see anything, right? That's pretty common if you change scenes. So you just click on one of your objects here, right? And then you go over here and you hit F, and it zooms you right into your object. Now, as you can see, my player already has a canvas on him. I don't want to put the start menu there. You know what I mean? That's to display neat things about the player, floating, damaged text, whatever you'd want to put in there. So we're going to go over here to UI and text. Okay? Now, I don't know why it put it under him. We're going to put it under the main here, under level. All right. Now, we do want to find that text. And we'll zoom in on it. It's right here. That is the wrong text. We want this text. Wow. It made it that big. Alrighty then. So we're going to go over here, and it says new text, apparently. We're going to make this say paused. Pause menu. Bingo. Okay? And we can't see it for some reason. Let's make the color like that. Let's set a tag on it. You know what? Let's just rewind here, delete that. Let's just add a new UI. Let's just do it that way. a new UI canvas. Bam. Okay, and we're going to give this canvas a tag, right? We have to make a new tag. Right there. Let's go back over to our canvas. Let's set that tag right there. Then in this canvas, we will add some text and a button. I'm just going to add a button. Real simple. We covered this in the last tutorial. All right. Zoom out. There we go. Let's also add some text. Why not? Text. UI text. And we'll make this say pause menu. And then zoom in and we'll move it right up here. Change the color. I think, guys, that last time I tried this, things were just conflicting with my little canvas I have on the player. I don't normally have to make a whole new canvas, but you know, it is what it is. So I kind of want this centered above button like that. Or maybe it's just that the game makes the canvas for me and I'm a goober. But as you can see in the game menu, we have button, pause menu. We're going to go ahead and change the text on the button. Remember, you have to hit the hierarchy, hit text. And we're going to make this button text say, unpause. Resume. Hey, now we're getting fancy. All right. And then, you know, you can change the states of the buttons. I might as well show you that again. Over here for color tint, we don't want to change sprites. We'll just do color tint. Normal color is white. We'll do highlighted color to be this green, whatever. And then we'll do pressed color to be, I don't know, that green. And then we'll do selected color to be, I don't know, some yellow, whatever, right? It doesn't really matter. There we go. Ta-da! Okay, now obviously I would go into this button. I would add a script if clicked, right, to make it resume the game. We're just using P right now. You know what I mean? So this should actually work. Yeah, see, pause menu, resume. Pause, resume. I don't like the way this key, that is so touchy. Let's see if we can change that to get key down instead of get key, and maybe it won't be as touchy. You know, there's a different way it detects your key. Yeah. That's so much better, guys. So when you do your pause, it's an instance where you want get key down. So much better. Okay, see, we can pause with the P menu. Now, just in case you wanted to resume with the click, I could show you that real quick as well. It's in some of the other code already that we've used. Clicked. Not in that one, Bob. Here, it's in this one. We'll just copy all of this. We're using a scene manager, so obviously we're not going to do that. But what you would do is go to your button here and add a component, and it would be a new script, and we're going to call this pause button click, resume button click, resume button click, whatever, right? It doesn't matter. And then that Unity thing that does that. We'll open resume button clicked, and I'm going to paste the other code in here and explain it to you. All right, so basically, oh yeah, we need to add using Unity engine.ui. Let's do it right here. Right there. If you don't add using Unity engine.ui, you can't use the buttons. And we're not going to use the scene manager, so we're not going to worry about that. So what this does is it declares a private button game object, and it calls it BTN. Okay. Then in the start, it says that that button we just made, okay, equals this, or the script dot get component button. So it grabs the button that's in the canvas that we just made, the resume button, okay, and it adds an on-click listener down here, okay. So all we really have to do down here is put this right here. If times scale equals 1, yada, 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 yada. But we'll take a little bit of it out. We'll just copy this over. We will paste it in here. Okay, but what we will do is take out show paused. We don't need that. Take out hide paused. And if you think about it, if you can see this menu, we're already paused. So we're just going to do this and take this out. So if time scale equals 0, we are in fact paused, then we're going to unpause. All right, and that's pretty easy. Hit save. We'll go over here. Now we're playing, I pause it, my character stops, I unpause, okay, but then if I want to click resume, I also unpause. However, we forgot to add the function to remove the menu if we click it right there. And you can add that yourself. That's the show paused, hide pause that the P button does. You'll just have to add that in with the click button, okay, so that it removes the menu when you click it. All right, guys, and then like I said, if you wanted to add pause as a player function, you would just have a timer, right? Like a coroutine. Like it only pauses for 0.2 F and then unpauses. And everything pauses but your character. Now with the code you have here, you're smart people, you can make that happen. I'd like to see what you made in the comments, or hey, just tell me how you're doing. And if my spaghetti code rambling tutorial helped you at all, click that dang subscribe button wherever it is. All right, you guys have a great day.